Crypto market is now gearing up for the next leg. Whether you're prepared or not, the market is prepared now. It's back about $2 trillion. You're watching a lot of these coins run up. You're watching a lot of people become moon boys, right? They're all talking about the moon. They do have some fundamentals behind it. And now this is past information being presented as new, but we understand that's bullish. We all know which direction that's going to go, and the price action is starting to do that as well. That's a huge news. In the market, when the market is showing you assets are starting to run up and you're watching some of these doing great signs, 30% for the day, 50% for the week, that kind of a move, understanding that's coming is the key. Jan 20th, we shared this chart for Ocean. Now, that was back when the price was 0.4. Now the price is close to 0.7. So the price action is working out very well. It's respecting these trend lines. And if you know where to look for and how to use that, you are in the right hands. So that makes you the real decision maker of your portfolio if you have the right information. Because if not, then you're confused. You're looking at 10 different individuals to make a decision. So this time around, when the market is showing you the right segment, I would say join 1,000 members in the SI family. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We shared this thought process when the price was back at 38,000. Now I'm trying to give you guys a little bit more clarity on this. Yeah, back then, this is the thought process. We are reducing the noise as much as possible. But you do see where it is aligned. But now we need to focus on the noise to see what the market is doing now. Why is that? Because there's a lot of noise happening in the market right now. So to put things in perspective, we first need to break it down in a way where we can actually understand, okay, this is what's happening. And that's what this looks like. Yes, there would be a lot of different individuals giving you the thought process that the price is going this way around. But, let that play out. Fine. But let's look at what the market is showing, right? It made all these stops. You had this wicks. It was hard to break through. That showed liquidity or the supply. Now you extend that and you get to see that was a resistance. So on a short-term narrative, you're watching this. Are we going to bounce off from there? Are we going to respect that trend line and stay above it and allow the moving average to catch up? If that's to happen, that's like a 10-15 days window where the altcoins are moving higher. And as of now, just in the day one, we're looking at a lot of these altcoins starting to move with higher momentum. So this is the 100 to 200 range where you get more of these coins doing 10, 15, 20, 30% fluctuation on a daily basis. Yeah, for sure. If you're 100% in XRP, then the question becomes like, I'm not getting to see all of those volatility in my portfolio. But remember, we shared this thought process of the rounded bottom picking up, a breakout. Now you need a retest. Watch where it came. It came almost exact to that retest level. Now, if you do zoom in on XRP, this is what you're watching. You would like to see the price action come down. It did come down. Great. Now, this is what we want to see, a double bottom formation. So for that double bottom to play out, first you need to be realistic. You need to see, okay, if the price is going to do this, then I am bullish on that short-term move. Because on a macro or even a medium-term outlook for XRP, they're still bullish. You broke above the moving average. You're coming back down to retest that moving average. And usually you bounce off. That's what we have seen. Perfect. Now we are doing something like that. So if that breakout is coming here, there is a lot happening. Because, what people don't think about initially is that there is a lot of different trend lines. There is a lot of different price structure. Whether it's a short-term one, a medium-term one, a long-term one, it all matters. It all matters a lot for some reason because we have millions of people interacting with this asset in the open market. So this resistance is one. The moment you break through that, fine. Now you have your measured move. You can actually look at that. The price action would show you a 100% move to the upside as soon as you break this. That's interesting because after a long period of time, we would be going above a dollar mark. Last time we were above a dollar mark, that was all the way back in December 2021, that range. That means it's been a long time. It's been a lot of patience. So now, when it's trying to break through, if you're giving up, it's completely on you. But the market is showing you the daily RSI is coming back up. It already broke through that trend line. That's what you need to keep in mind. And then you zoom out. Fine, we all would like to know what the macro pattern looks like. And this is where we are. It's great to see the fact that we're still following a trend line. We're not actually breaking through to the downside. We had a wick to the downside for sure. If you do plot it on a line chart, you get to see, yeah, we did make that market volatility here. And remember, we discussed about this for a few months, saying, guys, maybe this is something we'll have to keep our mind close to. We may get this, right? So you go back up to the moving average, play that dance there, and then come back up. Now, yes, without that level of noise, it's hard to understand. So that's why we usually say, okay, let's go into the land of candlesticks and then analyze what the market is showing you. Here, on a monthly, it's still bullish. We are holding on to that. Now, what we really would like to see is Bitcoin itself making a double bottom. Now, is that going to happen? We don't know. But what we are looking at is a possible movement in the market where it actually did a wick to the downside. It tried to make a new level of resistance turned support, and a retest and a bounce like this would be the perfect one. However, this is a short-term chart. You do have to go back, zooming out to see, okay, what's my realistic stop loss if you're trading this asset? Now, I'm not trading this asset, right? As I just showed you, there are a lot of different assets showing you much better ROI without huge 10, 20, 30, 40x leverage. Now, if you have that risk tolerance, go for it. 100x, go for it. But the chance of you winning is 99% stacked against you. When you're taking a 10x lever, look at the odds. You'll understand why we don't do that kind of crazy things. But yes, Bitcoin decides the direction of the market. The money flow decides whether altcoins run or not. And we're here. We're at a resistance. What do you do usually at a resistance? You don't buy at a resistance, you sell at a resistance. So that means money flow is now looking at Bitcoin to altcoins. That's not a bad deal because when you do look at Ether, a large cap altcoin, this is what you're watching. The trend is still in your favor. Before the recent breakout came in, we discussed about this pattern, saying, guys, watch, we may actually break higher. Now that we have broken that to the upside, what's our measured move on a weekly, right? You have short-term volatility on a daily. However, on a weekly, you're watching for a 14-15% to the upside. That takes you all the way up to close to $3,000. Now, we managed to come close to 2,850, which is a good deal. It's not a bad thing. But from here at this point, we'll all be looking at the entire market. We would like to see like what the market is doing as a whole. There are a lot of small caps which are starting to burst. You would be confused if you're jumping around from one coin to another. That's not how the game is played. You need to know where the price action is dropping, but it's showing bulls are entering, they're doubling down. You enter there, have a bit of patience. Now, this is worth like just 1 month. Usually, these takes 2 months, 2.5 months to play out so that you get a 100% move. But here, we just saw that the market is doing something different. It's in a hurry. So, who is in a hurry? Right? There's a lot of retail which is watching that the cycle is changing. So, you take AGIX for that matter on a long-term scenario. Take at least a 3-day chart. This is what you're looking at. This is a macro chart. I mean, even if you go on a weekly, this is what you're watching. Entering the overbought territory. Last time you entered the overbought territory, AGIX went all the way to 15x. This time you're just starting. I'm not saying you go buy this. I'm saying, historically speaking, this asset, when it enters the overbought territory, shows the enormous ROI to be made. 370 at the first leg. The next leg was like 878. That's a decent move, right? So if you understand the 1, the 2, and the 3, now you're positioned well enough in the market. Because we are watching the wave structure playing out here. Don't just go try and catch the top of the wave 3 because it wouldn't look good. Believe me, it wouldn't look good. One of the easiest way, as I always say, is educate yourself. If this happened to be the top for a long period of time, next time when it enters there, be cautious. Be cautious. Because we should learn from the previous experience. When you get a volume like this, which engulfs all the buying volume, run for your lives. But as of now, it doesn't look like that. A little bit of buying volume is pushing the price to the upside. So this is a change in the market. Whether you pick that one asset or you go pick a micro cap asset, you're starting to see money flow being directed at particular assets, specific assets. Most of them have a lot of fundamentals. You go look at a lot of these. There's another coin which has a lot of fundamentals. Whether you like it or not, I'm not sure. But you do look at this. Okay, this is a trend line. This is what it's doing. It's staying at its long-term bottom. Close to that. Fine. I'm like, that's like it went up. It came back down. But if you're familiar with the Elliott wave analysis, what would you call this? Yeah? That's your 3 wave structure. But what happens if this is the macro wave 1? That's gonna be something great. Now, you look at the trend line and you're like, okay, fine, that's a new trend line being formed, and it shows you the price action is still bullish. And the price is down. So that's where you think about where you are. Are you starting a move up or are you still at the bottom? So this is Feb 17th and the price of RSR is 0.0028. Maybe in 3 months it's going to come up. Maybe it's going to take 6 months. Maybe it's going to take 10 years. Who knows? But the market is showing you should buy when it's low and sell when it's high. How low should you look for? Right? This is that thought process. A change in your thought process gives you the maximum ability to make money. And that's one of the reasons why we go through these assets, to give you the right assets and the ideas to trade. If you are educated, say this was like number of days was like 2 days back. It's at $11. It went up to $20. So it went up 100% in 2 days. SI family was told to hold this 2 to 3 months, but most of them took their profits already because it's 100% up. No one knows when it's going to pop. I was expecting, because the total number of days taken for the pattern formation was a year. Usually it's 30% of the time where you meet the measured move. So I was thinking 2 to 3 months. It happened in 2 days. So the market is in a hurry. Someone's schedule is so small. That's why I say this time around, we are up for some surprise move, whether it's in XRP, whether it's in Bitcoin, whether it's in different assets with some fundamentals. We're going to see all of those. So guys, if you want to join the SI family, you can use the link in the description below or in the bio in Twitter. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, our request, please do consider doing that. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.